Oh, yeah. Five-star. LSU. I said, they ain't ready for the LSU. No, they ain't ready for the LSU, huh? They ain't ready for the LSU. No, they ain't ready for the LSU. We the best in the league if you looking for talent. LSU going hard, but we beat Alabama, then we going out to Florida. Drown the Gators, everybody getting bucked when we step in the stadium. This the LSU anthem, you know it's a hit. You don't know another rapper two-step like this. See me screaming out the window, yelling purple and gold. I'm an LSU fan, girl, you know how we roll now. Back and back it on up. Hey, 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 way down in the back.
TA. We are live. Welcome to the Tigers Avenue Show. Tuesday night, as always, during the football season. Here to recap this past weekend of LSU and La Tech and college football in general. We'll give you a little talk on expectations and reality. We'll give you a little LSU Florida preview. Obviously, starting SEC play is always critical. And it's a big one in Tiger Stadium. And I could care less about what happened to Florida on Saturday. Obviously, I think we'll talk about it. But I could care less about that. So, just to throw that out there. Well, Zach, it was a typical week 2 in college football.
Boring.
You have all
lackluster
of the hype headed into the season. You have big time matchups week 1, and man, this year, I mean, it's up there with any other year with the big time matchups in week 1. It was massive. Might have been the biggest week 1 of college football ever. It was pretty impressive with all the lineups. Yeah. And then second week, everybody kind of, takes a break, right? Mm-hmm. And so it was the lineup wasn't that great, but there was still a couple, Zach. I mean, obviously you had Virginia Tech and Vanderbilt. And by the way, Vanderbilt looks pretty good.
Yeah.
And you got to go play Vanderbilt this year at Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
So they look really good. We'll have to talk about that a little bit. The matchup this weekend, I am very interested to see Vanderbilt versus South Carolina. That's a big one this week.
That'll tell a lot about both teams, I think.
Anyways, so you had that game, and Vanderbilt, man, went to Blacksburg, Virginia, hung 44 on Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
Which South Carolina could not do with their, amazingly talented quarterback. So anyways, besides the point, that's going to be a great matchup. You had that WIT matchup this prior weekend, but the biggest one that everybody's going to talk about was the Mississippi State, Arizona State game. Obviously, Zach, lots of folks around us were tuned in to that game. Lots of Mississippi State fans around here. In particular, Zach, here at Fulton, starting safety for the Mississippi State Bulldogs, Isaac Smith, obviously is a big hit. He played here at Itawamba in Fulton, was the number 1 player in the state of Mississippi a couple years ago, and now is probably the best player on their defense. So lots of people talking about it. And not only that, the football chaplain for the Mississippi State Bulldogs is from Fulton as well. Scott Nicholson. So we got lots of connections to Mississippi State here in Fulton. So everybody was tuned into that game. And Zach, what a banger. What a banger. I mean, in a week of college football where it was kind of a ho-hum of a lineup, you had that game and you're thinking, well, Arizona State will take care of business. And lo and behold, the old dudes from Starkville pulled it off in miraculous fashion. What looked to be a game they were going to dominate in the second half looked to be a game they were going to blow. And then they wind up snatching victory from the jaws of defeat in the literal final minute of the game with a bomb to Brennan Thompson to put the Sun Devils away. Pretty awesome. I mean, just an awesome moment. That's why you love college football, moments like that. And I just have to say, Zach, there's always every single football season discussions of stadium atmospheres. We've been to Davis Wade a couple times. Davis Wade is never in that discussion, but Davis Wade is extremely underrated. When Mississippi State is good at football, when they have a decent team and they're playing a good opponent, that stadium can get loud.
Yeah.
I personally, Zach, we have gone to 11 a.m. kickoffs at Davis Wade Stadium. And the 2 times I have gone to 11 a.m. kickoffs for Mississippi State and LSU, halftime, you've got a headache. You have got a headache from the cowbells.
Oh, yeah.
So I could only imagine a nighttime, primetime game when, like a top 12 team, Arizona State was 12 in the country, was there. Like it was loud. I mean, that stadium is underrated. It really is. And alongside, I would say Williams-Brice with South Carolina, 2 really underrated stadiums. Anyways, just chopping it up about this past weekend just a little bit, Zach. Because there wasn't that much great to talk about with
No, there really wasn't.
So, look, it just, Zach, it feels better that you won week 1. It would feel really, 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 really bad if you were to somehow have lost that game to Clemson and then turn around and had a performance like that.
Yeah, I would agree.
Against La Tech. But, however, it doesn't feel great either way. You feel good because you're 2-0 and you're going, okay, the defense, Zach, is legit.
Yeah.
It still is legit. You absolutely, if you would have kept your starters in the whole game, which, just to be honest, we had to keep them in way longer than I wanted to in this game. But if you had kept your starters in this entire game, you'd have pitched a shutout.
Yeah.
La Tech gets the 7 points from a late touchdown, blown coverage from Taviano and I think Stamps. And Stamps earlier in that drive dropped an interception that hit him literally in the face. This defense is legit. On the flip side, whereas last week I was going, okay, I'm not that concerned about the offense. They put up 120 yards rushing against this really stout Clemson veteran defense that everyone has lauded, and 2 NFL draft picks on their defensive line. You were in their stadium. You feel like you had more points than the score actually reflected, right, with the Berrien Brown touchdown. And maybe if you kick the field goal at the end of half, you're thinking, man, that game could have been 27-10 easily. So you weren't too concerned about the offense when you beat them 17-10 and you felt like some points were still out there. And statistically speaking, you outgained them everywhere in rushing, passing. And then your defense put up such a dominant performance. Well, your defense put up a dominant performance again, but your offense, yet again, kind of put up a lackluster performance, to say the least. And Zach, this has obviously been a big topic of discussion, and Brian Kelly really, really, really harped on it. Is finishing drives in the red zone with touchdowns and not field goals.
Yeah.
Zach, as you were saying right before we came on, you scored 2 touchdowns.
2.
Against La Tech.
2.
You scored 2 touchdowns.
2.
Against La Tech. That is
2.
I mean, it's unacceptable.
That's bad. That's bad.
Unacceptable.
Yeah.
And you had a missed field goal again.
Yep.
It's unacceptable. There were just many opportunities blown. I mean, it felt like you were moving the ball. You could just never finish drives in some of the most frustrating ways. You blew drives with penalties or sacks, which, by the way, well, we can talk about it. But week 1, you're thinking, okay, this offensive line did really solid. But, you have to take into consideration the whole Braylon Moore incident, which that's another part of this game that was just incredibly frustrating. Not only were you not dominating, I mean, when you look at the statistics, you dominated them, but you weren't able to finish drives off. But you know what I'm saying? You were not throttling them the way you feel like you should have in this game. You had some pretty important injuries, some crucial injuries in this game. Braylon Moore goes down literally on the first play of the game and never returns. DJ Chester comes in. And there's a clear difference. I mean, there's obviously a difference without Braylon Moore at the helm of things.
There's literally a clip on Twitter, X, whatever you call it, where DJ Chester is getting driven like 6 yards back. Just bulldozed. And
look, I think DJ Chester is valuable to this team because he's a guy. He is a guy you can take in a moment like that and put him at center, put him at guard, put him at tackle. He's valuable. He's got lots and lots of experience. So it's really nice to have a guy like that. But you just see the difference between Braylon Moore and DJ Chester. Like, there's a clear reason, Zach. DJ Chester started every single game for you last year at center.
Mm-hmm.
Big-time games at the Swamp,
mm-hmm.
at Kyle Field. That guy was your starting center last year. Yet, they went into the portal and added a center, right? What does that tell you? Okay, obviously it wasn't his natural position to begin with, but also they felt like they needed to improve it. Braylon Moore is a vast improvement at center. And I think that was evident by game 1 against Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he won the SEC Offensive Lineman of the Week. He was fantastic. And his Pro Football Focus grades were awesome. And so he just is kind of the quarterback of the offensive line, veteran guy who knows what he's doing. And you remove him immediately, you saw the impact that it had on this game. I mean, not only that, Zach, last week you were saying, okay, we rushed for 120-something yards. This week you're looking at it and, if you don't count the sacks, you're like around 150 yards.
Yeah.
Rushing, that's still not that great. And you still did not run between the tackles very well at all. And you also had 2 huge runs.
Yeah.
The bulk of your yards rushing-wise came on a couple of carries.
Yeah, one from Xavier and one from Harlan Berry.
Exactly. You remove those, and you look at the average per carry, it's not pretty.
Mm-mm.
So you really, really hope that Braylon Moore can get healthy soon. Zach, the good news is Brian Kelly has said he's not going to have that whole tightrope surgery. The high ankle sprain isn't that bad that he's going to have to do that whole tightrope thing, which is awesome because Garrett Dellinger, had to do that tightrope surgery on the ankle last year, and it essentially took him out for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
You need Braylon Moore in this season. Bad. You need him. Good news is there wasn't anything massively damaged, nothing super severe. So that's the positive. However, it's like, okay, is he going to be available for Florida? Because this is going to be a test this weekend in Death Valley.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. I wouldn't expect him to play. The other frustrating thing was Trey'Dez Green. Third quarter, somebody falls on his leg. Kind of a similar thing to Braylon Moore, falls on his leg. Instead, though, his leg was kind of extended out a little bit more and kind of hit an awkward split. And Buddy, on Saturday night, when Trey'Dez came off and went to the tent, came out with a brace and some crutches, you're thinking torn ACL. I mean, that's what everybody's thinking. And in that moment, that was like the peak frustration in that game. Because you're thinking, okay, it's second half. Let's come out. Let's dominate. You're still not doing that. And now Trey'Dez Green has also gone out, and he's on crutches now. It was an incredibly frustrating game. Again, good news when it comes to Trey'Dez. It's not a torn ACL. It is a sprained MCL. Probably going to miss some time. Thank goodness he will not miss the bulk of the season. If I were to think of any kind of timeline for Trey'Dez, he is definitely sitting the next 2 weeks. Definitely. I don't think you should see Trey'Dez Green until at least the Ole Miss game.
Do you get a bye before that game?
No, you get a bye after the Ole Miss game.
Okay.
You get a bye after the Ole Miss game.
Yeah, that's right.
And then you get South Carolina.
That's right.
Anyways, it was just such a lackluster, frustrating night offensively, and then you had two pretty key offensive players go down. Thankfully, not as bad as what it could have been, Zach. That's just a very general, Zach, synopsis of the frustrations from Saturday night. I'll let you kind of dive in a little bit more, get more specific with things. But as a whole, all of those things kind of combined created what was a very miserable, honestly, Saturday night in Death Valley.
Yeah, it really wasn't fun. And the tone kind of was set there on the first drive. LSU gets the ball to start the game, 4 plays, and you got Barry Brown open deep. He's got some steps on the defensive back there, and Garrett Nussmeier underthrows it, tipped around and intercepted.
Yep.
And that pretty much set the tone there for the game. Next drive, you miss a field goal. And, then you were really dealing with a difficult field position for a lot of this game. Yep. Getting pinned back plenty of times. You were pinned back deep near your own end zone. But LSU on their first scoring touchdown goes 98 yards, and it looked good, right? You had like Barry Brown got going. I think, if you were to take one thing away from this game is that Barry Brown looks like your best receiver. Him and Aaron Anderson, maybe 1A, 1B.
Yep.
They look like your best guys with Xavier and Thomas right behind them. But it was good to see Nick Anderson get going there as well, get himself a touchdown to start the game off. And then it was just kind of more of the same, just ho-hum. I mean, you did I will say this was a good sequence, Reagan. Like, you had 4 drives in a row where you had chances to score.
Yep.
Right. Before that, you had the missed field goal. Okay. All right. Good. So you drove the field a little bit. Are we getting field goal range? Then you scored a touchdown on a 98-yard drive. Then you go kick a field goal. Okay. So, like, you had some possessions there where you had 3 possessions in a row where you put together some drives. Unfortunately, you just like made mistakes, right? You had the missed field goals. You had some other mistakes in there that kind of held you back a little bit, or else this game could have been, like maybe 21-0 at halftime.
Yeah.
So instead of 10-0 at halftime. So you did have a sequence there where 3 drives looked pretty good. You just got to clean some stuff up. Is that because Braylon Moore was not in there? Maybe. I still think that this offensive line is questionable when it comes to running the football, very much so. especially between the tackles, as you've already discussed, Reagan. LSU can run the football outside the tackles. They can do it. We've seen it plenty of times, and they've gotten creative at doing that with getting the receivers involved in the running game. And they're going to have a really tough task coming up this next week. But anyways, that's how you end half, Reagan. You punt the ball before halftime, and that's that. I mean, there's 10, and you go into half 10-0, and you're without your starting center. Just it was so bad, Reagan, that I literally fell asleep. I fell asleep during the game, and that almost never happens. And I was literally asleep on the couch at Mom and Dad's. We went over to Mom and Dad's to watch it, and I literally fell asleep during the game because it was that boring. It sounds bad. I know it sounds bad, and there's probably a lot of listeners in here going, "Oh my goodness, how could you do that?" Like that's how rough it was. It just wasn't good. It just wasn't a good performance. As we said earlier, you scored 2 touchdowns, two on Louisiana Tech. Now I'll give Louisiana Tech credit. Their defense is pretty good. They did shut out Southeastern. They shut out Southeastern.
They were stout
in their first matchup. They've got some pretty good players. They got some all-conference type players on the defensive side of the ball. But guys, you're LSU. Honestly, you're LSU. Yeah. You got to go out physical them, and you were getting beat. Honestly, you were getting beat and out physicaled on offense on the line. I mean, you just were. How many times do we see Garrett Nussmeier get flushed? I mean,
way too many.
Way too many. How many? He had like what? 3 sacks? 3 sacks?
3.
Yeah.
3.
You got sacked once last week. Once.
Against Clemson's defensive line.
Against Clemson's. Yeah. So now how much of this, Reagan, is also just, coming down from that big of a hype and, the first game of the season? I think it has something to do with that. But here's the problem, Reagan. LSU's whole mantra this season is 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0.
Yep.
So if that's your mantra for the season, then this is a failure.
Yeah.
This week was a failure. You're like, yeah, you went 1-0. Great. I guess I shouldn't say it's a failure because you didn't lose the game, right? But I'm talking about as a whole. Oops, sorry, I bumped my mic there.
Well, the idea
as a whole,
of the 1-0 is to block out what happened.
Block out. Yes, exactly. The idea of 1-0 is this is our opponent. This who we're going to focus on, and we're going to put everything we've got into this opponent, right? And when you consider that mantra, when you consider that thinking, that line of thinking, right? Then it was a failure. It was a failure because you played sloppy, you played sluggish, and Brian Kelly he said it in his post-game press conference. We got to coach better. We got to play better. We did not meet expectations across the board. Coaches, players, staff. I mean, sports staff, all that did not meet expectations for this game. So,
yeah,
LSU beats around the bush and they win a sloppy, ugly 23-7 ball game. And you're still number 3 in the polls, but I think a lot of LSU fans and probably some national analysts as well are very speculative at this point. And so, Reagan, that kind of brings us to our second segment, which is the expectations versus the reality. So I think there's some expectations for this team. I know part of this you kind of discussed, but now that we've seen 2 weeks of what this team is, and obviously this team's going to grow, and this things are going to change, right? And obviously you got some injuries you got to deal with, you got to battle and overcome. But expectations versus reality, I think the expectation is that this rushing attack is getting better. I think the reality is right now that it's just not. Like I don't really think it's getting better. I don't think I've seen anything to prove that yet. And I don't think we're going to see it this week against Florida. Just to be honest, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to see an improved rushing attack.
Well,
this week. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
Zach, you expected it to be better, but here, let me look at some of these stats from the box score that are just alarming to me. Okay. Caden Durham got 13 attempts, 13 rushing attempts.
29 yards.
29 yards.
Yeah.
Caleb Jackson had 3 rushing attempts. Total of 1 yard.
Yeah, that's bad. Bad.
That's horrible. Okay. Well, what about Harlem Berry and Xavier Thomas? Man, well, you know what? Harlem Berry had 56 yards. That's great on 6 carries. Long of 43.
Yeah.
1 run. 1 run is what makes the most of that up.
So if you take
Xavier
that away,
Thomas
Reagan,
had
if you
6
take that
carries.
away, it's 13 yards on 5 carries.
13 yards on 5 carries. Exactly. Again, Xavier Thomas, 6 carries, 54 yards. Sounds great. Long of 48.
That's
Long of
even
48.
worse.
So guess what? That's 5 carries for 6 yards if you take the 1 away.
That's bad. Really
It's
bad.
not good. The rushing a game has not been good.
It
just hasn't been. And here's where I'll disagree with Brian Kelly. He was asked in his press conference about the lack of explosive plays because as of right now, we are last in explosive plays. It's only been 2 games, okay? So I think that's kind of too early to be like, well, you're last in the SEC in explosive plays. Well, we're 2 games in. But you're last, regardless, you're last in explosive plays in 2 weeks. And Brian Kelly was like, his kind of answer was like, well, whereas last year you would see some of the explosive plays go to the receivers, you're seeing some of those explosive plays go to the running backs. Okay, but still, the overall rushing game is not good when you look at it in detail. Like, you take those 2 big rushes away, it was an abysmal night running the ball for LSU. Abysmal.
Yeah.
I mean, I cannot even tell you how many times we handed the ball off and it was just a cluster. You just ran into a cluster.
Yeah.
Ran
Ran into a brick wall. And I was like,
you went absolutely nowhere. I can't even remember how many times that happened. Like over and over and over. You try to run the ball, you're met. Brick wall. You're not going anywhere. No movement, no push.
against Louisiana Tech.
Against Louisiana Tech.
Yeah, it's bad. Really bad.
It was not good at all. I mean, he was trying to make a point to try and say like the running game is the explosive game now for us. It's really not.
No.
We rip off a couple every now and then. I just that again, the expectation was you bring in Alex Atkins, you went and got these guys from the portal. They're making an effort. They're going to run the ball. They're going to be better at it, and they're just not.
Yeah,
they're not better at it.
I
mean, you're committed to it. You're more committed to it than you were last year, but it's still not any better.
It's rough. To go on the flip side of that, Reagan. Okay, so that was kind of a hate to hear that type deal. Expectation is you felt like the rushing attack was going to get better this season. Reality is it probably doesn't. Now that is subject to change. We'll see. Can LSU make adjustments? Can this team get better offensively on the offensive line? Yes. But as of right now, it doesn't seem like it's a reality. Now let's look at another expectation versus reality, Reagan.
Also, sorry.
Go ahead.
Maybe it's better with Braylon Moore the whole game. Maybe
yeah.
Anyway,
we'll see.
But that's to be determined. That's still to be determined.
TBD. Reagan, here's another expectation versus reality. Expectation: this defense is going to be better. Reality: this defense is probably the best, if not top 3 defense in the country.
Zach, it could be It could be better than the 2019 team.
Oh, I think it is better than 2019's team. I do
Like,
think it's better
yes.
than 2019's thing.
Like,
I don't think it could be. I think it is right now better than 2019's LSU defense.
I mean,
I'm just being dead serious on that because we watched LSU's 2019 defense get absolutely shredded against Ole Miss.
that's true. That's true.
They got shredded.
I want to see more of the season. But I agree with you. The eye test, just from the eye test in 2 weeks, it looks better.
We also saw Texas put up 30, 40 points on this defense in week 2. What was the final score?
It wasn't 30. It was closer than that. It was less than that. That wasn't a very high scoring of a game. It wasn't that high scoring.
Hold on now.
It wasn't that high scoring.
They put up 38 on us, Reagan.
What was the
45 to 38? Yeah.
Wow.
So we also saw them get absolutely shredded week 2.
Yeah.
So we saw an early game and a late game where they got shredded. Now to their credit,
more high scoring than I remember.
To their credit, after the Ole Miss game, they locked in.
Yeah.
To their credit, after the Ole Miss game, they locked in. But a game early in the season and a game later in the season, we watched that 2019 get absolutely shredded.
And I mean, you think about the Auburn game; it was, I mean, that was a tough game too.
Now,
they didn't
play good in that game as well,
but it was tough.
I thought they played pretty good against Auburn though in that game because that was a low scoring game.
It was but you're right. I mean, the defense is. I mean, it's better than what I thought. I thought it was going to be fast. I thought it was going to be improved. It's really stinking improved. They're better than I thought.
Yeah, expectation versus reality. We were expecting this defense to be better than they were last year. The reality is they're a top defense in the country. That's the reality.
Zach, here you go. Here's Louisiana Tech's drives. Punt, 3 yards, 9 plays. Punt, 4 yards, 22 plays. Punt, second quarter. Punt, 8 plays, 26 yards. Punt, 5-yard plays, 17 yards. End of half, 1 play, -3 yards. Third quarter, they get the ball. Punt, 7 plays, 34 yards. Third quarter again, 3 plays, -3 yards. Punt. End of third quarter, 3 plays, 4 yards. Punt. Fourth quarter, punt, 3 plays, -8 yards. There's your blown coverage, touchdown, and they finish the game, 3 plays, -11 yards. Punt. Every single possession they punted the ball besides the one blown coverage. Every possession they punted the ball. Yeah. Your defense is suffocating teams.
Yeah.
That is the highlight right now.
And Reagan
is a strength.
And Reagan, that expectation versus reality leads us into our last expectation versus reality. And I think you'll agree with me here. Expectation versus reality. Expectation come the season, your offense is going to carry you, and your defense is going to be better. And your defense is going to be a little bit better, but your offense is going to have to carry you. Reality, this season, your defense is going to carry you, and you got to hope that your offense gets better.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Last year, you were going, okay, our offense is going to carry us. We got to hope that our defense gets better throughout the season.
We got to keep scoring.
We got to keep scoring.
That's what we said last year.
This year, you're going to say our defense has to keep getting stops because you're going to have to hope that your offense gets better.
And Zach, I really think it can. I really think it can. There's just so many weapons. I really think it can. I think there's a few things that have got to gel. I think there's a few things that got to gel. Maybe these new receivers. I mean, we saw what Barry and Brown can do. We saw what Aaron Anderson can do. Some of this can come together and be really good. You had ample opportunity to make this game a blowout. You just didn't finish in the red zone. So the red zone is where you're really struggling. And you struggled there last year. It's got to be better in the red zone. I think it can, Zach. I really think it can. But you're right. The defense, for right now, you're leaning on them.
To be honest with you, I think you are the whole year. I think you're gonna lean on them the whole year. Because I think the offense is still going to struggle a little bit this year. It's not going to be as good as it was last year. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But I think they're good enough with this defense to win you a lot of games.
Yeah.
I think they're good enough. Because, like, if you score in the 20s, you got a good shot you're winning the game.
Oh, yeah.
Right. You score 20-plus points, you got a really good shot you're winning the game. So, anyways, Reagan, some expectations versus reality. I don't know if you had anything else, Reagan. Those were the three big ones that I had.
No, I mean, I think that's what you had. I mean, maybe you could talk about the receivers because the receivers haven't quite got involved in the game as I thought. The expectation was that it was going to be guns blazing with these receivers, and it really hasn't quite been that yet. So maybe that's another expectation versus reality. Then again, maybe they're just still trying to feel through this offense. But man, I mean, you got a tough test. I'm thankful it's in Baton Rouge this year against Florida. That helps.
Yeah.
I'm thankful that you have a really stout defense. But man, you need to figure out this. You need to figure it out on offense. You really do. Figure out some things that are going to work. I mean, we'll see this weekend. But I mean, expectation was that you were going to be throwing it all over the yard. Haven't quite seen that yet. You know, Aaron Anderson kind of took over in the Clemson game. Barian Brown took over in this game. Aaron Anderson still had a good game against La Tech. Yeah. I mean, Barian Brown just popped a little bit more. And I mean, shoot, if you give the touchdown in the pass to Barian Brown in the Clemson game, he popped too. And then if you give him the first possession, if Garrett Nussmeier throws a good ball, that's a touchdown. Yeah. And I mean, Barian Brown, if he catches that ball and it's a touchdown, you're looking at him having like 120 yards and a touchdown, you know, against Louisiana Tech. I mean, Barian Brown's been amazing this so far, and hopefully they can continue to kind of gel and really sink in so they can get that rolling even more. But again, like I said, expectation was that it was going to be guns blazing. Hasn't quite been that yet. Yeah, you've had a couple guys so far. I've been surprised by Xavier Thomas. He's been consistently really a great target for you.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I kind of expected him to kind of fade into the background a little bit as a receiver.
Yeah.
But not at, you know, I thought maybe I figured Barian and Aaron Anderson. But I figured kind of Chris Hilton and Nick Anderson would have a little bit bigger roles. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's the case later on, but Xavier Thomas has really been impressive. Reality is he's been really impressive so far in these first two games.
Where has Chris Hilton been?
I don't know. He didn't even have a reception this game.
He did not.
I don't even know if he had an attempt.
He did get a couple targets. He targeted him in the end zone one time, but I mean, look, Barian Brown is the same skill set guy, and he's just been the dude right now. So, I mean,
he's just been better.
He just has. I mean, Nick Anderson caught, I think it was like 3 passes on the first drive and got a touchdown.
Yeah,
or 2 passes
and then you got
a touchdown.
Yeah, it was like 2 or 3, and then you didn't see him get the ball ever again.
So I mean,
yeah,
I don't know. Yeah. You don't know. I mean, we'll see. The offense, Zach, certainly needs to.
It's got some work.
It's got to find some identity. I mean, we got to find something that gels with this offense. I mean, we'll see. We do need to get to a couple comments real quick before we dive into our preview.
Let's take a break, and then we come back. We'll hit all the comments. Y'all go ahead, throw them in there if you haven't already. I see a bunch of folks already in here. We're going to take a quick break, and then when we get back, we will be hit all your comments.
5-Star Hero, your intro and outro music for the Tigers Avenue show. They ain't ready for that LSU. Go check out all his other music on all the major platforms. Don't forget to follow him on Instagram at Saints Anthem and at Twitter at OneNationDoty. Don't forget to check out his Facebook page for all his Saints and LSU merchandise. Can't get any better than Sarah Klein Stevens, attorney at law. Her firm focuses on the needs of the elderly and maintaining their dignity throughout the process. Here for you, here for your family. Sarah Klein Stevens, attorney at law. Stop by to try Fulton's newest drive-through coffee shop, the Well Coffee Co. for all of your coffee needs. Iced, hot, blended, however you like your coffee, we got it. You don't like coffee? Try one of our Red Bull infusions. Maybe you want something else? Try a smoothie of different flavors as well. We'd love to see you at the Well Coffee Co. Monday through Friday right now, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. The Well Coffee Co., John 4:14.
Right back at it here in the Tigers Avenue show. Lots of comments we need to get to here,
Dude,
Zach.
Lucian's in here with us. He said, "What's up, fellas? Sorry so late to tune in. I told y'all about the Alabama game."
Hey.
He was 100% right on that one. Got to give Lucian credit.
But they hung 70 on UL Monroe.
They did. They did. Yeah.
They hung 70 on UL Monroe.
Is Bama back? Maybe so. I don't know. Ryan, I didn't say it publicly, but God knows that I was thinking that Moose State was going to win.
Moose State.
Yep. Ryan, what bugs me is that people are asking where is Chris Hilton and why are they not getting more vertical? But I'm like, have you seen the offensive line play? It's obvious that the coaches do not trust them. Yeah. Vertical routes take longer to develop and for the receivers to get down the field.
That's true.
Yeah. I think they've been pretty good at pass blocking, though. Just to be honest, Ryan. I think they've performed better than expected as far as pass pro goes.
The interior has been really good.
Yeah, you really got to get some help on run blocking. You just got to get better. TT's in here. He says, "What's up, guys?" Ryan said Nuss did miss a lot of throws, and there was some drops. Like you're probably over 300. He's probably over 300 yards passing if you don't have the drops. The whole offense
and if he's a little bit more on target.
Lucian said it was hard to watch all the times that Louisiana Tech sacked us. I had to get up and leave the room. Yeah, I know.
The one play,
soft as wet toilet paper.
That one play when Garrett literally was like turning and like curling up, I was like, "You got to be kidding me right now." It was rough. It was rough.
Yeah. Anyways, Ryan, that's the thing. You have two offensive line coaches plus BK. Either the development is bad or the evaluation of the talent is bad. I think they're young. You just put two guys. You just put what, 4 guys in the NFL?
Yeah, inexperienced.
I think they're inexperienced. Yes,
as a unit.
As a unit, yeah.
As a unit,
you got to figure some things out as a unit. Talent wise, they're getting the dudes. I mean, and they're developing them. But
already at your both your tackles right now are 5-star.
Yeah, I think Tyree Adams is going to be. He's going to go to the NFL.
Braylon Moore, Josh Thompson, they've been solid as it gets. It just seems like they all are having a hard time working together as a unit. Again, we were coming off the Clemson game, Zach, saying, "Man, hey, that offensive line did better than we thought."
Yeah, we were.
Braylon Moore missed this entire game. We're going, it was bad. Maybe Braylon Moore is that important to this offensive line.
Again, the importance of the health of the offensive line this season is critical. Yeah. Ryan said the defense is better than 2019 so far. Top 10 in my opinion. Let's see what happens against Florida. Yeah. I don't think Florida is going to do a whole lot against this defense. Just be honest. Because they struggled against USF.
They lost.
The Florida offense looked bad against USF. If that USF defense can shut down that Florida offense, what do you think this defense is going to do in Death Valley?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's Florida's defense. They're pretty good.
The Florida defense is good, and that leads us into our preview here of the LSU Florida game. You got strength or weakness for both of for this game, and both sides of the football. You got strength or weakness. Florida's defense versus LSU offense. LSU offense a weakness. Florida's defense a strength. Florida's offense versus LSU's defense. Florida's offense a weakness. LSU's defense their strength. So that's the two matchups there. The question is, Which offense do you trust more?
Yep.
That's the question.
I'm telling you right now.
And which defense do you trust more?
I'm gonna tell you right now, though, Zach. Florida's run the ball better. Florida's run the ball better than you have. Jaden Ball.
Yeah.
Jaden Ball's been pretty good. But again, they haven't faced a defense like I think LSU's defense, and they still only put up 16 points. So running the ball or not, they struggled offensively. Defensively, you look at it, and they are better, I would say, defensively than they are offensively. However, I don't think that necessarily means that they're elite. I mean, you look at what they did against South Florida. I mean, they only allowed 18 points against South Florida. Not terrible. But they also gave up almost 400 yards of offense against South Florida.
Mm-hmm.
They were like 8 yards shy. I think they rushed for 128, and it was like 265 passing for South Florida, something like that. So they're right close to 400 yards of offense on Florida's defense. I mean, then again, South Florida's a good team. They dog walked Boise State, and everybody thought Boise State was the shoe-in for the group of 5 into the playoffs. So maybe this South Florida team is just really that good. But regardless, Florida is far more talented than South Florida is. I mean, that's an objective fact from a star recruiting evaluation. I mean, much more talented on the Florida Gators roster. To allow South Florida to come into the swamp and almost give 400 yards of offense, and somehow you only muster 16 points on your offense. I mean, I understand the frustration from Florida fans. I do. Because you've got some stinking talent. I mean, DJ Lagway is very talented. I think he's got some growing to do. But he is, Zach, his ability is off the charts.
Yeah.
Jaden Ball is a very good running back who we're going to have to stop this week. If we can stop Jaden Ball, if you can hold Jaden Ball down, you're going to win this ball game.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to win this ball game. But they've got good receivers, too. Eugene Wilson is back again. It feels like Eugene Wilson has been playing for Florida for 18 years. He's back again, veteran receiver. And they have this guy, Vernell Brown, who is a freshman that they really like. And he's probably their second best receiver, Zach. And so they have talented guys. They really do. Personally, though, Zach, I think our defense is just that much better.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I think their defense is good, but it's not like we are. And so I think we score more points than Florida does in Death Valley. As really dumb as that sounds, I think our defense does not allow as many points as their defense will allow.
Well, you've got this defense on top of what's going to be an extremely hostile crowd.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Zach, is LSU going to wear gold jerseys on Saturday night?
I think so. I think they're going white, yellow, white. I really do.
Are they going to do that?
I think they are.
You're calling it the gold game.
You're calling it the gold game.
All the fans to wear gold.
They're going white, gold, white. They did it against Vanderbilt last year. They're doing it against Florida this year.
I like it. I know some people don't.
I don't like the white, yellow, white.
I like it. It has grown on me.
No,
it has grown on me.
I like the white, purple, white. The white, purple, white's clean. The all whites are clean. The white, yellow, white is not clean. I'm sorry, it's not. That's my opinion.
I like it. I didn't
Yeah.
like it when last year I looked at it and I was kind of like, it's grown on me. I
Reagan,
actually really like it.
By the way,
But I do-
we really need to get into. Let's do this first, and then I'll get into what I was going to say. Let's get into some TA tools for triumph. Right, what LSU needs to do to win this game, and a prediction. I know you said that LSU. You think LSU is going to win this game because the defense is just a little bit better than Florida's defense. I would agree with that. I think LSU's defense is considerably better than Florida's defense. I would say that Florida's offense is probably got a slight advantage over LSU's offense. Slight advantage. But I think with the combination of LSU's defense and it being at LSU, I think, DJ Lagway is going to, first full-time starter, he's having to walk into Death Valley. Not going to bode well. I think LSU wins a close, low-scoring game. I'm going to predict that LSU offense gets just enough to win this game, and the defense is suffocating. I think LSU wins 20-14.
Okay. This may surprise you a little bit, Zach.
Okay.
From our discussions thus far in this here show. I think our offense breaks through a little bit this game. I think our offense breaks through. I'm not.
Do you have a healthy Braylon Moore? That's what we got to. That's the thing, Reagan. That's another thing we mentioned.
Certainly.
You don't know if you're going to have Braylon Moore back. You're not going to have Trey'Dez.
I don't think you do have Braylon Moore. I don't think
probably
you
don't get Braylon Moore back this week.
I don't think you do either. Trey'Dez certainly is not playing this week. But I do think that LSU breaks through offensively in the passing game, not in the run game.
Okay.
I think our receivers finally kind of break through, and a couple of them have some big games. Garrett Nussmeier finally hits the ball that he's just been missing. I mean, he hit it game one, but it was taken from him. But you know what I'm saying? Just missing it. I think we hit a couple of those on Saturday. And I'm going to tell you a score that may surprise you a little bit. I think LSU scores 30. 32.
Wow.
32. Man, I don't like Florida to score that much.
Exactly. I don't think Florida's getting in the 20s.
I don't think they are. I'm gonna go 30-17, and I don't even like the 17. I think that's a bit much.
Yeah.
I think that's a bit much. I really think LSU will actually win this game going away.
I don't think this defense, Florida. I don't think Florida gets in the 20s.
I don't either.
I do not see it. I just at Death Valley at night. This quarterback's first time going into LSU into Death Valley. This defense, I just don't see them putting up 20 points.
Yeah. But that's my hot take for the week. I think LSU breaks 30.
Unless Garrett Nussmeier throws like a pick six or something like that.
Yeah, right. If they get a defensive score, or
if they get a defensive score, something special teams. But like their offense, I don't see their offense putting up 20 points.
No,
I just don't.
Mm-mm.
Ryan makes a good point though. They're on the second half there. Do not turn the ball over. You're already -2 in the turnover ratio. You're -2, I think. -3, maybe. Garrett had a pick this past game. You did not force a turnover against Louisiana Tech. That's probably another thing.
-3. No, you had the one interception. So, yeah, you're -2.
Yeah, you're -2.
Delane had the one interception against Clemson.
Yeah, correct. And you had the 2 fumbles.
Yeah, you got to flip that around.
You're
-2. But, yeah, that's kind of my hot take for the game. I do think the offense finds a little something this game. And I think we break through for a solid performance. Zach, I think Garrett Nussmeier breaks a 300 threshold this game. But I think you, at the end of the game, go, yeah, Garrett threw for 300, but you rushed for 90.
Yeah.
But I think that's what it's going to be. We'll see. I think you have And Dad's comment there, right there. This is kind of where I'm taking things. And this is kind of where a lot of people, his most recent comment, yeah, I think Florida comes in hungry and embarrassed, plays with passion. This is the question that a lot of people have: is Florida going to be like, we've got to make up for what we did, passionate?
No.
Or are they going to be defeated? I think they will be absolutely demoralized by this defense.
I
think
agree.
our defense is going to break their spirit. And this, Zach, this is why I think LSU is going to break free, because I think it's going to break the team as a whole a little bit. Florida has been in such a hot seat, right? Like discussion. It's been such a boiling pot for the last few years. You lost at your own stadium to an in-state South Florida. This defense of LSU, I think is going to break their spirit and break the team's spirit as a whole. And that is why I'm saying
what happened to Florida this week. What happened to Florida this week is like LSU losing at LA Tech.
Yeah,
that's what happened. Like literally,
exactly.
You can argue South Florida is better than Louisiana Tech, yeah. But I'm just talking about when you look at it as what it is, a SEC Power 4 school going up against a South Florida's Group of 5, right? I mean, they're a Group of 5.
Yes.
Yeah, going up against a in-state Group of 5 school coming to your stadium. That would be like LSU losing to Louisiana Tech this past week.
Yeah.
And that's how bad it was. Yeah, I agree with you. I think Florida comes in hungry and motivated, but I think that ends very quickly. Who knows? Maybe we're both wrong. Maybe Florida beats you. Who knows? I'm not predicting that. I'm not predicting that. I think LSU wins this game. I'm confident LSU wins this game. If they lose this game, you're going to see a very upset and angry Zach on next Tuesday.
Here's what I'll say, Zach. Here's what I'll say. I'm predicting that LSU kind of breaks the spirit of Florida, and I think we break through and win going away. However, a couple years ago, 2017, LSU loses to Troy at home. 2017, LSU loses to Troy at home. Next week, turns around on the road and beats Florida in the Swamp.
It's true.
So, can Florida do the same thing? It's certainly possible. That is why, we can sit here and we can say, man, you play like crap against La Tech, but Florida lost to South Florida. But I say this every season, you have to take each game as its own. Each game is totally different. It is its own. I'm not saying that the previous week or anything going on cannot affect the next week. I think it can. But each game is totally different. It's totally different. I do think that a demoralized Florida is going to come in and have its spirit broken by LSU. But then again, they could come in motivated. We'll see. I mean, but I think you got to take each week by itself. Each game is different. I mean, that's why last year Vanderbilt can knock off the number 1 team, Alabama, in their stadium, then turn around and lose to LSU, an LSU team that's not that good, right? Like that's college football. That's college football. So,
couple more comments, Reagan, before we wrap this up. Dad says I like the white, yellow, white.
I do too.
Okay, all right. You two will have to like it for me. Dad also says LSU 21, Florida 20. Ooh, that's too nerve. That's too nerve wracking for me. I don't know about that. TT says LSU wins 24-17. I can get down with that. I think I like that score. I like that score. If we can run the ball. I don't know if they'll run the ball, but I'm kind of with Reagan. They might be able to pass the ball around a little bit more. We saw what Dad said earlier about Florida coming hungry. Ryan said, like I said, my prediction is that the first 1 to 20 wins.
I'm good with that.
Tyler says, I think you're right. First half. That says the first half could be very close. Louisiana Tech boys kept us at bay. Yeah. South Florida has 2 ranked wins.
That's crazy. They do.
That says if we lose, oh my gosh. LSU is a 9.5-point favorite per Vegas. And they are not wrong often. Or they're not wrong often, yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, Reagan, let's see, what did I predict? What did I say? I said 20-14. That's a 6-point.
Yeah. You'd say Florida will cover.
Yeah, I think Florida covers. I don't think the offense. LSU's offense. I gotta get where you're at, Reagan. I gotta get some more confidence there in LSU's offense.
Again, I want to make it clear. I think LSU breaks through offensively because of what LSU is going to do Florida defensively.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
You think LSU or Florida's defense is going to lay down a little bit because their spirit's going to be broken?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's correct.
We'll see. Definitely take the under. What is the over-under? I'd be curious to look at that.
I don't know.
Oh, he's saying take the under on the 9.5. I wonder what the over-under total.
Most people are going to take the under on that.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people take the under on that.
I think a lot.
That line is going to go.
Yeah.
This week it's going.
Let's see what the over/under is. It's at 7.5 now. Actually.
Yeah.
It's at so it's already gone down.
That line's going to keep on coming down.
Yeah, it already went down. Yeah, we're only at Tuesday, and it's gone down 2 from what you said, Ryan.
Yep.
The over/under is 48.5. Ooh, I'm probably taking the under on that one too.
48.5.
48.5
with 30-17. I'm under that.
Yeah.
Under. I'm taking the under for sure.
Yeah, I'm taking the under on all of that. Anyways, Andersley, Vegas. Yes, they love the Tigers. Some are saying LSU by 12. Well, we'll see.
I have LSU by 13. So we'll see.
I hope LSU by 6.
Here's what I will say. I hope you go 1-0. I hope you go
1-0.
Just go 1-0.
Yeah.
Just go 1-0. All right, guys. Appreciate you guys being in here. We're already an hour and 5 in. Hey, it was a sloppy week. It was a crappy team. You had some crappy injuries, but obviously, with any sport, you get to turn around, you get to make corrections, you get to play another ball game. In what will be a primetime, nighttime, not La Tech, Florida Gators, primetime game on ABC, gold game. It's time for 1-0. The infamous words of King Solomon, it's time.
And now the infamous words of Ryan.
It's time. Maybe that just needs to be the theme of the season. It's time.
It's time for 1-0.
What? I'm trying to remember where
I expect to see that. I expect Ryan to post that just about every show. I can't hear you. You cut out. I think you muted yourself.
I did mute myself. Is it Master Oogway on Kung Fu Panda says, it is time. It is when it was time to choose the Dragon Warrior.
Oh, I don't know.
It is time. In the wise words of King Solomon and Master Oogway, it is time. That needs to be. I mean, that's.
I do remember. I can't remember what the leading up line it is, but I know me and Max, my college roommate, used to always say the line where I can't remember if it's if it was oh God, what's the Kung Fu Panda's name? What's his actual name?
Poe.
Okay, Poe, and then what's the other master's name? Poe and Shifu. Yeah, I can't remember if it was Poe or Shifu that was asking Oogway a question. He asked him a question, and he looks at him. He goes, "I don't know. I don't know." Like they all, this master. He's ultimate wisdom. These so many years of knowledge. All this. I don't know.
Maybe it wasn't Master Oogway. Now I'm thinking it was Rafiki from Lion King. It is time, and he does the little painting on the wall. Anyways, we've gone off.
It's probably some Disney movie somewhere along the line. If not one, maybe others.
Rafiki, Oogway, somebody.
Yeah.
We've gone off the rails now.
We gotta get out of here. Let's get out of here.
Go Tigers. Okay. So hopefully, appreciate you guys being in here as always. Y'all make it fun in the comments. And hopefully we are talking about the Tigers going 1-0 again against the Florida Gators. We hope so.
That was the other thing I was going to mention. Florida's schedule.
Brutal.
On the road against number 3 LSU. On the road against number 5 Miami. Home against number 7 Texas. On the road against number 16 Texas A&M. And then they host Mississippi State. And then they host number 6 Georgia.
Billy Napier.
Billy Napier's time is running out.
Pack it up.
Reagan, listen. Hear me now. Hear me now.
Hear me now.
Hear me now. If Billy Napier loses his game, if Billy Napier loses the next 3 games, which are all against top 10 teams, he's gone. He's gone. Anyways.
Anyway. Gotta love it. Hey,
it's been
a great show here in the Tigers Avenue. Looking forward to this weekend. Big time matchup. Hey, Zach, there's some bigger matchups this week. Georgia, Tennessee are playing this weekend. Vanderbilt, South Carolina. Is going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game. And of course,
there's a lot better matchups this week.
Great weekend. SEC play is really starting to roll this weekend. So good weekend of football. And we'll be back here on Tuesday to discuss it all again. Hopefully we're discussing another Tiger victory, 3-0 on the season. Appreciate you guys being here. Y'all are awesome as always. We'll see you next time. Foster Hero, take us out. Peace.
Who that five star?